Hello everyone. So in this video I'm going to show you how I prepare a stainless steel tumbler to get ready to use it for glittering. I use this crud cutter. You want to make sure you use the metal clean and etch to clean your tumbler. I use the Hog 20-ounce skinny straight stainless steel tumblers from the Stainless Steel Depot. I really like this. It's the only kind I use. So you want to go ahead and take the lid off, and then there's this little dot on the bottom. You want to just go ahead and pop that off. I don't know why it's there. No one really knows why it's there, but you don't need it. So you want to pop that off so nothing gets underneath there and creates a problem. So you can just throw that out because you do not need it. Then what you're going to do is get your crud cutter and use like one of those sponge tipped brushes just from the Dollar Tree, and you want to cover completely your tumbler with the crud cutter. And what this does is it removes that factory coating on it, and you want to do this to prepare your tumbler. So you're just going to really wipe it on. I found this is the easiest method. So you just wipe that on every surface. You want to make sure it gets covered, and then you want to let it sit for about 5 minutes. Okay, you want to make sure you wear gloves when you do this. I know this pan's yucky, but I use this all the time. And when I prepare my tumblers, I prepare usually a dozen at a time, so I don't have to, keep doing this all the time. So we're just going to let this sit, like I said, for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to come back and just wash all of that off. It's a very easy, simple process. Okay, so we've let it sit for about 5 minutes. So I brought it up to my sink here. I'm going to use the Dawn dish soap and just spray that really well, the power wash, and clean all of that crud cutter off. You make sure and clean it really well, and you'll know that you have stripped it off when you look at how the water reacts to it. Do you see how the water's kind of just staying there? It's kind of hard to tell, but I'll show you in this one. This is a sublimation tumbler that has a coating on it, and you see how that just kind of wicks right off, or it kind of, can you see the little areas, what it does, the difference? And with that one, it just kind of runs right off. Okay, so you want to make sure that you get that coating off. Rinse it really well, and then you're just going to want to dry it. Make sure you get everything dried off, and you don't want to paint it until you know it's dry. And I usually just spray paint most of mine white, just to go ahead and have a base, and then if I want to change a color, I'll paint over the white. But this way I have my cups prepared and ready to go, so I don't have to worry about, oh, I don't have any cups ready. So now we're going to take it outside and we're going to spray paint this cup. And I like to use a Lazy Susan. It works great. You can turn it around. And this is just a stand I came up with a little pool noodle. But my best tip I have for you is you're going to, not this one, but you're going to wipe off your tumbler with rubbing alcohol, just to make sure you get fingerprints and all that kind of stuff off of your tumbler, because you want it clean when you go ahead and apply the spray paint. So I'm just rubbing it off here, cleaning it real well. So my next thing here is a tip that I thought works really well. So a lot of people buy those tumbler rings that you put on your tumbler so paint doesn't get inside of it. Well, I found these little rings at the Dollar Tree. They're just a ring for one of your mason jars, and it fits perfectly in a 20-ounce skinny straight tumbler. And that way, no paint gets up inside your tumbler when you're trying to spray paint it. Works great. And you can get a pack of them. I think there's 5 or 6 of them in a pack for $1.25. So great tip, save you money there. So then I'm just going to spray paint this with the Rust-Oleum Ultra Clear primer and paint, just the basic white. Like I said, I prep most of my tumblers in a white or a black, and I just have them prepared. And then you're just going to do short, even bursts to cover your tumbler. You don't want to like hold the spray can on it and do a continuous spray, because you will get drips, and then you have to sand and redo the whole thing. So you don't want to do that. Sorry about my dogs in the background. They're running around playing. So you're just going to do this until your tumbler is completely covered. And like I said, I love using the Lazy Susan. It makes it so much easier. And like I said, I will prep, usually a dozen tumblers at a time and have them on hand. And that way I don't have to worry about having tumblers ready to go. Now, you don't have to do this step. You can just paint them. I don't use acrylic paints, but you can use a Colorflex paint. You can use Crystalac paint, whatever you want to do. Sorry. But I do this. I like having the white base or a black base. And you can always spray paint a different color over top of it if you don't want to, hand paint them. But this is just what I do and what works for me. So you will let this dry completely. Usually I'll let them dry overnight or a couple hours before I use them. And then you just turn your spray can upside down to clear out that nozzle, because you don't want it to get clogged. So that's it for preparing your tumbler. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.